The conference room buzzed with chatter as I glanced at my phone, its screen lighting up with an incoming call from Tyler. I stepped into the hallway, expecting the usual small talk. "How's the trip? When will you be home?" Instead, Tyler's voice came through cold and smug. "I'm divorcing you," he said, almost triumphant. "I've already sold the apartment, so you'll need to figure out where you're going to live." I stood frozen, my mind struggling to process his words. The audacity, the complete lack of remorse. It was almost laughable. "You sold the apartment?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. "Yeah," he laughed dryly. "Nicole and I need the money to set up our life together. She deserves better than a tiny place like that anyway." Nicole. The name stung, though I'd suspected for months that there was someone else. But hearing him speak her name so casually lit a fire in my chest. "Sounds good," I replied evenly, forcing a smile. There was no way I was going to give him the satisfaction of hearing me crack. "My name is Amelia, and at 29, I never imagined I'd be questioning whether my own husband was trying to poison me. Tyler and I had been together for 6 years. Things hadn't always been perfect, but I believed in our partnership. We worked hard for our apartment, a cozy 2-bedroom in the city that I'd fallen in love with the moment I saw it. But now, in the wake of his betrayal, I realized how little I truly knew about the man I married. Over the past few months, there had been signs, small cracks in the foundation I'd ignored. Tyler's dismissive attitude about finances, his tendency to brush off my concerns with a smile and a kiss. His carelessness was going to be his undoing. The rest of the day passed in a blur. I sat through meetings while my mind raced. Tyler thought he'd won, but he didn't know the most important detail. The apartment deed had been in my name alone for months. Tyler had never bothered to ask about the details of the paperwork, assuming his confidence would carry him. When I returned to my hotel room, I wasn't devastated anymore. I was resolved. Tyler thought he could walk away from me and sell our home, but I had a plan. I called my lawyer, Chloe, and laid out the situation. "He sold the apartment," she said, incredulous. "Does he realize he can't do that without your consent?" "Apparently not," I replied. "He thinks he's already spent the money on his new life with Nicole." Chloe's voice was brisk and efficient. "Well, he's in for a rude awakening. The sale is invalid. We'll notify the buyer, and if he's taken any money from them, he'll be in serious trouble." The next few days were a whirlwind. Chloe worked behind the scenes, ensuring everything was handled properly. Tyler called repeatedly, leaving frantic messages that alternated between begging and threatening. But I wasn't listening anymore. His manipulation and arrogance were no match for my resolve. The confrontation came when Tyler brought Nicole to the apartment. They walked in like they owned the place, but I was having none of it. "No," I said firmly. "This is where Tyler was, staying. Nicole won't be staying here at all." Nicole's smile faltered, and Tyler demanded, "What is this?" I grabbed the deed from my files. "The deed has been in my name for months. You signed the paperwork without reading it, and now you can't sell what you don't own." Nicole's expression turned icy as Tyler's arrogance shattered. "You lied about the money, didn't you?" Nicole asked him. Tyler tried to explain, but she was already walking out, shocked by his deceit. I turned to Tyler. "The sale is void. If you've spent any of that money, you're in even bigger trouble." His face drained of color, and I didn't flinch. "You've been trying to ruin me for months, but you failed. Now, it's over." The days that followed were a steady unraveling of Tyler's plan. Chloe took care of the divorce paperwork, and Tyler had no leverage to argue. The apartment began to feel like mine again. It was cleaner, brighter, and I was reclaiming my life. When Tyler reached out with half-hearted apologies, I didn't respond. I wasn't interested in fixing what was beyond repair. He had made his choices, and now he was dealing with the consequences. A month later, my apartment was unrecognizable, not because of any drastic changes, but because of how it felt. It was mine. The divorce proceedings were final. Tyler signed without resistance, and I was free. One evening, as I sat on the couch with a glass of wine, I thought about everything that had happened. Tyler's betrayal had stung, but it had also been a wake-up call. I wasn't just reclaiming my apartment, I was reclaiming my life. And as I looked forward, I knew this wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where I called the shots.